Hello everyone, myself Akshay Sankwar and I'm an intern at Lawmine. Today I'm talking about the topic the legal challenges of cyberbullying and the online harassment. We need to first of all understand what is cyberbullying and what is online harassment. Online harassment can be defined as when anybody, any individual or a group of individual try to repeatedly harm you or another person via the threats or any obscene messages or by repeat messages which anybody would ignore by using the information technology, that is the online platforms. The online harassment is an umbrella term which covers many cyber crimes like cyberbullying, cyber stalking, etc. Now, cyberbullying. What is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is nothing but a bullying someone on an online platform such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter. But it's said to be bullied only when something negative is shared and about someone, uh, and that can cause a huge harm to their reputation. These bullying can be the sharing of the personal photos, videos without permission, or scam groups making fake accounts on the name of someone, body shaming, making memes and videos, etc. Now, what are the legal remedies which was given to us in India? Information Technology Act 2000. The section 66A gives instant relief to the victims on the matter of the bullying or the cyber harassment cases. This section provides genuine victims of cyber harassment with a possible chance to acquire instant relief against the subject matter that may be demeaning or harmful. It repeals has left police authorities powerless in the face of growing threat of the cyberbullying which is on the arise. Now, Section 66C defines the punishment for the identity theft. Section 66D of the IT Act deals with the personation and the use of a computer resource to cheat. Section 66E of the IT Act deals with the punishment for violating someone's privacy. As you know, privacy is the fundamental right under Article 21, personal liberty. So, while we violating someone's personal liberty by using on online platform, it was an harassment under Section 66E of the IT Act. Section 67 Section 67 deals with the punishment for publishing or transferring the material comprising of sexual explicit acts, images, or other content through the electronic means. When you send someone's personal and obscene material or publish in a social media platform for everyone to see, it was the direct violation of privacy. Also, the case of humiliation for the victim. Therefore, it was punishable under the IT Act. Section 67A deals with the punishment for publishing or transferring material comprising sexually explicit acts through the electronic means. Again, and the part B of the 67, section 67 deals with the transferring or publishing the explicit or sexual acts, images, or other contents regarding which portrays the children through the electronic means. Now, moving to the other the remedy given in Indian Penal Code 1860. As you know, Indian Penal Code is in place while replacing Indian Penal Code. It was now the BNS, but I am citing the sections of Indian Penal Code. Um, section 92. Section 92, which deals with the printing of inappropriate matter for blackmail, states that matter must be harmful to morality or the measure to injure a person. and that the perpetrator will be imprisoned for the maximum of 2 years. When we print something in order to blackmail someone, it was offense under the section 292 and punishable for the 2 years. Now section 354A, when making or insisting sexually colored remarks, as well as being the guilty of the crime of sexual harassment, as well as displaying the pornography against the will of the woman, are all subject to the punishment. Section 354C provides that the cyberbully can be prosecuted for taking photographs and can be held liable under the section and other section if he distributes and publishes the photograph. As per section 354D, if a woman is stalked or attempt to being stalked by another person, such person can be held liable for 3 years for the first attempt and a maximum for the 5 years for any later attempts. Section 498 addresses the defamation. As the defamation is also a topic of torts, here in IPC it was an offense which is defined as when a person through verbal words or signs creates or publishes something which intent of harming the public image of another person. The defamation can be committed through the electronic means as well, and the section 500 talks about the punishment of the defamation. Section 503 talks about the offense where the person sends threatening messages through the email. According to section 507, criminal intimidation through any unidentified communication or the means is prohibited, and the offender will be liable for up to 2 years in prison if he is or she is found guilty. According to section 509 of an Indian Penal Code, the offender who intend to disrespect the modesty of a woman by words or gesture, by using the electronic means, by invading the privacy of a woman, will be punished with imprisonment for 1 year, including or fine, and both. Now we look into where we can complain regarding the cyberbully or the online harassment cases. First of all, cyber cells were created to help aggrieved person while cyber crimes get compensation. These units are part of the criminal investigation units, are tasked with the investigation related to the internet criminal activities. The person can register an FIR at the nearest police station if your home does not have a cyber cell. If anyone is helpless to file the FIR for any case, that individual can still contact the judicial magistrate or the commissioner in his cities. Regardless of jurisdiction, every police station is required to file an FIR. Online grievance redressal. The second option is online grievance redressal. When it comes to handling the female victim, now it is for the female victim. The police are the most well known law administration body in India. Even if they have instant access to a police, the women are hesitant to report an event for the fear of being cautioned and subjected to more suffering. As a consequence, the crimes against the women remain to go unpunished, and the women have to bear the burden of online bullying. The women do not wish to come forward and can submit a complaint with the National Commission for Women. The commission contacts the police and requests the investigation be hastened. In the cases of the major crimes, the commission can appoint an investigative committee to look into the situation and undertake a field investigation. Now moving towards the another option, that is report to CERT. Under the Information Technology Amendment Act 2008, the Indian Computer Emergency Response Team CERT-IN has been established as a national regulatory authority for dealing with the computer safety concern. Now report to the websites. Most of the social media platforms that allows users to create accounts include a reporting feature. You can block him, report him, so that the account can be deleted of the offender. Under the IT Act, IT Rules 2011, these websites must respond within the 36 hours to remove the information connected to infringing right. For the sake of investigation, the intermediary must be keep such information and related documents for at least 90 days. Now we talk about the cases of cyberbullying in India. According to Indian study, stalking is the most common type of cyberbullying, 71.2%, followed by making insult remarks, 64.4%, leaking or sharing of pictures, videos online, 41.7%. The percentage of the parents who report their children that experienced cyberbullying was the highest in India, that is 42%. So it can be concluded that most of the victims are the kids in the cyberbullying matter, because they use a social media platform. The youngster use a social media platform widely in our nation. Therefore, the without the proper knowledge, they caught into the hands of bullies, and therefore they were facing the lot of such incidences or the offenses. While in 2012, a survey was conducted by Microsoft in 25 countries, India ranked third in online bullying cases. The Facebook is the only platform where the 70% of online bullying happens. Now moving forward to talk about some cases in India. There was a famous case, that is State of Tamil Nadu versus Suhas Katti. The facts of the case are as such: the accused was a family friend of the victim and wants to marry her, but she was married another man, and some later the marriage was resulted into a divorce. After her divorce, he was pursuing her marrying pursuing her to marry him, but she was reluctant in this marriage arrangement. As a result, as feeling the what we can say jealousy or want to take revenge, he posted obscene content by creating a fake email account on her name. uh, the court held that additional chief metropolitan magistrate Imor convicted the accused person under the section 469 and 509 of the Indian Penal Code and section 67 of IT Act. The legal challenges, what are the legal challenges which was faced by the many peoples in the country, and also which was responsible for not getting the proper and adequate justice in these cases? Lack of awareness. I want to talk about a topic in the matter of lack of awareness, that is Ritika Sharma's case. Ritika Sharma, who was a student in a reputed Delhi school, was stalked by a Facebook friend whom she unfriends months ago, whom she gave all her information, including residential addresses, school address, and even cell phone number. She told her brother regarding this, and her brother filed a complaint against this. After this incident, the Delhi police organized an awareness programs where all the students were told not to send their personal details to any stranger. When we were lack of awareness, we think every person on the online platform was our maybe our friend, and as a result we send some personal things or personal photos or personal information to that person. That was very irresponsible from the side of us when we do such thing, that because we will never know what thing may turn against us. Now moving to the second issue, legal battles for justice. While we file any case, it was obvious that it will take the lot of process and which needs patience. But while facing all this, any victim was so afraid and wants reluctant to file such cases because they are afraid of humiliation, they are afraid of society and many things. And in order to get justice, they instant give the in their demands. Therefore we need to they need to know about the legal processes and how the law can help them. Empowering individuals generally got scared and they don't know what to do in such cases. Instead they gave in demands of the bullies or they just continue to suffer within their circle and continue to get harassed without knowing the adequate knowledge or anything. So the government also provides some guidelines which can help us by little bit awareness. We can report them, so people need to understand what are the situation and how you can and help yourself while getting little aware about it. So now thank you so much for listening me, and that's it from my side. Please like, share and subscribe the video.